Hello and welcome to AEF TV in association with Engerati. I'm now joined by Austine Sequeira. I've pronounced your surname correctly, haven't I? Yeah. Who's the managing director of overseas Infratech Corp, which is an Indian company which you set up with a colleague of yours. And you were telling me off air a little bit about that you are focused solely on the African market. And what's a little bit unique about you guys is that you start the projects from zero, things like that. So tell me a little bit about, obviously, whenever you set up a company, you see a problem that isn't being solved, or it's not being done well enough, or whatever. And what was that one thinking that where you said, this company will solve that problem better in Africa than what's currently happening?
Okay, when we started looking at the African market, what we found basically was there are a lot of things to be done, right? Okay, but there are a lot of issues. There's a concept issue, what the client exactly wants, what will be the final benefits, what will be the cost benefit, how will you do the financial closure, how will you implement the project at the least cost, how will you do capacity building, and matters related to this. So what we decided was, we said we start looking at the entire spectrum of this issue.
Yeah, and you were just saying about what was happening in Uganda. So just elaborate just a bit more about that.
So what happened was, when we went to Uganda, we were basically focusing on the railway project. But what happened was, we understood from the government of Uganda that they are feeding the food market of the adjoining countries. We said this is a great opportunity. What you need to do today, we told them, is that you have to scale up. You have to scale up in such a way that your railway expansion, etc., becomes profitable. Otherwise, what will you move on the railway? Today, the railway lines are running different. So we conceptualized what is known as a agriculture project, which will have sectoral, some sectors defined, what they will produce based on the crop patterns, which produce will be processed there.
Right.
And that will involve setting up rice mills, that will involve setting up banana chip making mills, etc.
So you guys basically look at an entire ecosystem and you say, well, if you really want your country to be incredibly agriculturally efficient, here are all the little building blocks you need to look at, rather than where other people might come in and say, oh, you need a sugar processing plant, or we'll build you a sugar processing plant. You're looking at the entire picture. Right, okay. So that's agriculture. What about energy? Because we're at Energy Net, an Energy Net event here, and what are you seeing with the energy sector?
Sir, in energy, what is happening, what is my understanding is that everybody knows what the problems are. But, the problem is, people are talking about public-private partnership, people are talking about BOT, people are talking about so many other things which are very modern concepts which are not suitable for these African countries. My firm understanding is that the governments have to put their own money, and we are taking them there. For example, in Ethiopia, what happened? They told us they want to, under the Universal Access Program of United Nations, they said, okay, we want to electrify villages near the border because there were some border disturbances. We said, okay, no issues. We got them $65 million line of credit from Government of India. We facilitated the line of credit. When the money came, we told them, okay, now the money has come. Now what next? Now you are talking about 2,000 kilometers, right? We are saying we'll do it 3,000 kilometers. How? Do local capacity building. They said, what that means? We said, reserve the erection sector only for the locals. No foreigner will do erection. We will get you the equipments. They agreed. So they set up a capacity building ministry. Today in Ethiopia, up to 132 kV electrification is reserved for local enterprises.
Right.
What they're doing is they're using all the local expertise. The price of a project comes down by 22%. These are the kind of solutions we are offering.
So you look at it, you're looking at it holistically as well, and you're like going, actually, there are transferable skills, and by engaging in that way, you are able to actually leave behind a legacy because people have been skilled in something else, and that can then be, which is a sort of fascinating concept. But one of the other things that has come through as well is there seems, you know, Africa is a unique continent because you've got a mix of some very sort of developed pockets where you could probably put in a very sort of Western model and it would work. But you've also got a rural agrarian society who are driving into and needing electrification. I have two questions. One is actually a fundamental question. It's like, why are we so obsessed with providing electrification? You know, has anybody asked that question? And secondly, what do you think is the best way of providing electrification to rural economies? Because I'm not sure the type of electrification that is required is the one that maybe I would expect, where my TV works and whatever. It's maybe more, I want to charge my mobile phone.
Well, see, we have not progressed so far that, there are 5 solutions for producing electricity. There are only 3 solutions. One is the hydro-based, one is the fossil-based, and one is renewable energy. There is a clamor for renewable energy in Africa, but we feel it will not work. The technologies are very expensive. We always propagate that Africa has to do, and specifically every country has to do what is best for them, what is best available for them. Like Ethiopia, they are building 2 huge hydro projects, Gilgil-Gibe 1 and 2, and now recently they are talking about the Awash Dam, which is damming the river Nile, etc. Sudan, we were there, we were advisors for a small time, and they were building what was known as the Morvi Dam. We told them, okay, amend the dam structure, put up a small power station. Not today. After 10 years, you can put up a power plant, which they did. Now, today there is no power being produced from there. But then, you have a dam and you have to use it.
Yes.
So it's this way.
Yeah.
For example, we had a small problem, concept problem in Uganda. We told them to go in for a hydro project. They said, no, we want to put up a coal-fired plant because the money is coming for coal-fired plant. 7 years, money has not come for a coal-fired plant.
Right.
On the other hand, they have, rivers which could, have a run of the river, small plants, 80 megawatts, 100 megawatts.
So do you think a lot of the challenges, which was a point an earlier interviewee made, is that actually the governments need to seek expert advice, because there is this perception of, hey, I want a big coal-fired plant, when like you're saying, that may not be the right route. Things like. So in terms of what you're seeing, if you look at what you do and you're in Africa the whole time, what's the most exciting project you're working on at the moment?
Sir, today what we are doing is we want to regenerate what is known as the African Railway. When we talk about African Railway, we are talking about a railway which starts from Dar es Salaam, goes via Rwanda, Burundi, and via Uganda, and it comes back to Dar es Salaam. Okay? We have a lot of missing links. We are trying to put things in place, but it's a big project. It's something like a $20 billion project.
And it's key, isn't it? Because I read an Ernst & Young report about some of the issues stopping investment in Africa. And the second biggest one, after regulation and corruption and things like that, is the infrastructure network. To move stuff, you cannot have, well, I'm sure you can, but it's not unsustainable when you read reports where border crossings are, have got a long line of traffic because people aren't getting across. And so it's interesting that you're working on that project, and that would be a seamless link all the way through for freight as well.
It is going to be a seamless link, because today what is happening in every country, the logistics cost in Africa is something like 40 to 60% of any product. So whatever you produce, by the time it is exported, 40% is added. Whatever you import, by the time it comes to the grocery, 60% is added. And looking at things as they are going, railway seems to be the only alternative. And you had railway, right? You see, the colonizers had sensed this 100 years ago. But what happened was the infrastructure got destroyed for various reasons.
Yeah, and it was derelicted, and so I'm sorry, we're coming to the end of our time here, but I want to ask you one question, which is a situational question. We've talked a lot about what's going on. You're at Africa Energy Forum. What are some of the things you're looking forward to get out of this event?
Well, we are basically come here to understand where Africa is really moving, because there are a lot of countries where we have not been present, especially the West African region, and we are not really understanding from the policies being pursued by the various states. That's our one focus, and let's see. I mean, we are also looking at some financial institutions being here, like IFC was there. I was participating in one of the public-private event in the morning. Good discussion. And we are looking out for some innovative solutions to come through, because we are the people, we are looking just for a ray of hope somewhere.
Yes. Yeah.
We can expand further.
Yeah, and meeting the right people and making the right corrections. Well, they're certainly here, and thank you so much for your time, and thank you very much for watching.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.